So today's video is going to be about Zorin 18, not the pro version because, well, I don't feel like paying $77 for literally open source software. And yeah, so we're just going to grab the core edition, okay? And this is Ubuntu with a Z. It's pretty much just Ubuntu with GNOME and extensions. There might be a few other applications here or there. That is the slowest download speed I've ever seen in my life. Wow, that's bad. We're just going to cancel that. Let's try this again using a proper application. Oh my god. You just download from a different server. Okay, so they have different servers. Let's try this. Copy that. No, I said copy that. Thank you. Paste that. And start. Let's see if this does a little bit better. Oh, it did. It did do a little bit better. They do not have the best servers in the world, which is very worrying. Because when you're moving to a distro, you want to make sure they have a good servers. And, well, yeah, it's not looking good. Let's try from kernel.org in the world. Yeah, nope, it just does not want to. Well, we can wait 2 minutes, which is something I've never had to do before. After 10 million years, it is finally finished. So we're going to copy it. We're going to go to our Ventoy drive. We're going to go to the ISO drive. We're going to paste it in here. Once it's finished in about 4.5 seconds, done. We're going to end up rebooting. Now, the installation process is not something I can actually show you, unfortunately, because most of these niche distros don't have the ability for OBS to be installed on the ISO. They tend to limit themselves a lot, and I don't even know if my NVIDIA drivers are going to be working out of the box or not. This is the reason why I don't really do videos about Zorin or Mint or Ubuntu or things like this. Ubuntu handles it fine. They have an up-to-date Wayland. I could actually live on Ubuntu if it wasn't for the snaps, but yeah, snaps are just horrible in general. So, well, I'll see you on Zorin, on the desktop, which is just GNOME with extensions to look like Windows 10-ish like environment. Literally, we're going to show you all the extensions, and I'm going to expose pretty much everything it does to make you feel special that every other distro just does a little bit better, especially CachyOS 4. Okay, guys, we're back. We're on Zorin OS. And, yeah, I had to install the NVIDIA drivers, of course, because, again, they would not install properly from the ISO, which is unfortunate. I actually had to go to Software Updater, like this. It's exactly like Ubuntu. I had to go to Settings. I had to go to Additional Drivers. I had to wait for this to populate, and then I had to click the Open 580. Which 580 drivers they are, I do not know. Let's go take a look. They are the newest. Okay, that's great. Yes, I really actually want to quit. God, do I want to quit so bad. Alright, I think it's X Wayland -- version. Alright, it's just dash version then. Oh no, it's got Ubuntu Mint syndrome. Okay, so this is one thing I was worried about, is that the X Wayland version was not up to date, which means you will get flickering with NVIDIA using Wayland, and that's a bad thing, which completely throws this off the table as a viable alternative for Windows 10. Because if you're heading into Linux, you're going to want to be using Wayland, and you're going to want to have a distro that is actually updated. If you don't know what this means, everything before 21.1 did not have explicit sync. Explicit sync is the main thing that helps NVIDIA and Wayland in its entirety. Okay? without this, having the newest driver is completely pointless. Another major issue with all of this is that the kernel is at 6.14, which is barely supporting my hardware, so everything feels really slow and it doesn't feel good to use. Let's go to Zorin appearance. What is this? We got themes here. Let's switch to dark mode with that. Oh, nice. Effects, enable animation. There's jelly mode, desktop cube. Yeah, so all this is a modified version of GNOME Tweaks. Nothing special here. And again, as I said, we'll go and install terminal. Well, I'm not going to install the terminal. The terminal's already here. What terminal is this using? Ugh, gross. Yeah, we're on GNOME 46, I think, at this point, which is roady as hell. We have Flatpak support. We do. Great. Manager. I think it's like this. Okay, so this is going to tell us exactly what they're using, so that we'll know. Again, we're going to dissect this thing as much as possible. So it's already as out of date as Linux Mint is, which is unfortunate. And again, it's not viable for anyone on extremely new hardware. And it's not viable for NVIDIA users because of the fact that if you decide to use Wayland, you will have issues with flickering on Discord and other applications. Alright, opening up the extension manager, we are going to find add to desktop, app menu. Currently is on as user themes, X11 gestures, Zorin indicators, Zorin desktop icons. Yeah, there's just everything. So there's a tiling shell, is there? Yeah, okay, so there is. It's quite ugly, in fact. So yeah, there you go. Well, I just kind of go over what I already knew. They've taken other extensions and they've renamed them for themselves, which I guess is kind of okay. But in the end, this is just GNOME with extensions, and you could do this anywhere. Look at that. There you go. We added some blur down there. See that? Yeah, that looks awesome. I don't know if this is the version of Blur My Shell that actually has the ability to deal with the panel and stuff down here. Blur original. Yeah, there it is. Defaults. Round it. Well, it is blurred. And it is rounded. So that's something. We actually go to properties and we manage effects. We can actually turn this up and turn this down. I'm pretty sure the extension is no longer working after I click that off and on. Oh yeah, it is working. It's just not showing because of the dark background. Let's change the background to something a little more appropriate and light colored. Yeah, there we go. We've already improved it 100 times. So, let's go over what this is. So right here, this would be Zorin taskbar, which is also known as dash to panel. Tiling, Zorin tiling shell, which is also known as just tiling shell for everyone else. Move effect is just known as Windows move effect. Like, they just took everything and just put Zorin in front of it. So let's go take a look what they have installed. I want to take a look at what this is. Windows app support. Running Windows apps in Zorin OS in bottles, with wine in bottles. So basically all you're doing is installing wine. Okay, let's install wine. Because I don't like using bottles. I've never gotten it to work properly. I did get it to work properly one time. And that one time, it wasn't pretty. It just was not. There we go. Turn the brightness up on that. The rounded corners are okay. I don't see any issues with those. Perfect. So it's still going. I would like to know what it's doing. This is just GNOME software, by the way. And they just call it software. Yeah, I forgot what that looked like back in the day. Set performance, power save mode. Yeah, there's my wired connection. There's my Bluetooth. Dark style. Let's go take a look at what version of GNOME they have installed. I like this one better. We go to System, we go to About, we go to System Details. They are running. It's literally not even going to tell you which version of GNOME it's running. That's how hard it is. It's trying to lie. Can you imagine running this type of hardware on a kernel that old? Look at that. And without Wayland 24.1, which is specifically built for your system. See details. You know what's a good way to tell what you're running? Version 17. There's no details on this one. Is to go and find out. Because waiting is annoying. Not /opt. I don't know where my brain was going with that one. And then it goes into, I believe, share. Then we need to find the G's. GNOME shell. Extensions. We're going to choose Zorin taskbar. Then we're going to open up the metadata.json. Everyone's got a metadata.json. Version 70. So this actually has been updated for GNOME 49. Alright. These hips don't lie. And what I mean by that is, you open up the terminal. You do this. Let's zoom in so you guys can see what I'm doing. Sudo apt. Since it's just Ubuntu with a Z. This obsession that people have with this distro right now because of what's going on in the world with Windows 10 is a bit sad. I'm gonna just admit that 100,000 downloads, really, and it's no different from any other distro that you'll ever find. That says a lot about what people expect and what people don't know when going into Linux. There's videos out there, people just don't pay attention. And I don't think they ever really will pay attention, which is the problem. Kill that as well. And I don't know. There is nothing actually special about this. Let's take a look at some more applications, okay? Let's go to all apps. Password and keys. Remote desktop software, send feedback, normal software updater. There was this the very first time. that we started it up. Basically, it just tells you what you can do and stuff. Launch Zorin Appearance, connect your online accounts, link your phone with Zorin Connect. That, I don't know about that. That's sketchy. Using software store, and then that's it. As for utilities, it's the same old, same old. There's also a backup utility. There's app support, upgrade to Zorin, Zorin Appearance, Zorin Connect. I'm not really seeing anything. It's basically just Ubuntu 24.04. And that's really it. It's got, there's nothing special. There is absolutely nothing special. And I hate that. I hate that they do that to you. They're like, yeah, we're the greatest thing since, you know, canned beans. Beans don't offer any nutrition. I mean, string beans do. Inside the little beans, they don't. Most people don't know that. Most people all don't know that there was never meant to be chili, beans and chili, and real chili don't have beans, but random facts here. They just added it because, well, it fills. It doesn't actually have any nutritional value, so that's a thing. I'm trying. When I go into a new distro, I try to see the point. I really do, but it's literally just Linux Mint at this point. There's nothing at all that makes it any different. It's got its little updater, but updates will always come through the other updater as well, so that's a thing. Like, this is version 18. I just, yeah, if you're on NVIDIA, go with CachyOS, go with PeakOS, go with Nabora OS. Avoid Mint, avoid Ubuntu, avoid Zorin OS. At this point, you're just hurting your hardware. And if you're on newer hardware and you're coming over from Windows 10 to Linux, you're going to want to be on CachyOS or PeakOS and Nabora because they actually have all the patches and everything necessary already built in, ready to go, out of the box, taking care of you for all your performance needs. I haven't tested gaming on this thing yet, but I'm terrified too. Because without X Wayland 24.1, it's going to be kind of a disaster. I'm a little bit frightened here to actually go and just... Oh, those aren't upgrades. Jesus. Okay. Let's try this. Sudo apt install Steam. Oh, what's going on? Okay, well, obviously you need the 32-bit driver. So this application is pretty much just, what do you like, what I'm going to call it? Oh, that is not the Steam that we want. Is it not showing the real Steam that's actually installed? Well, there's a way around this, people. If it ever tries to force you to install a Flatpak, just remember, you have the right to say no. By doing that. And it's important to say no. Flatpaks, they're not meant for gaming. You can game, but it's not a very good experience. Not by any means. So avoid it. It's like trying to game on snaps. You're going to lose performance. You're going to lose speed. Applications are going to start slow. Things like this. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit annoying. Well, at least it knows its own distro and stuff. Okay, well, there it is. Look at that. Now if I go over to Steam, we'll install the game really quickly and we'll see how this works. This will actually confirm my theory that networking on Linux has been getting worse since the 6.12 kernel. Library. How big is Dead Island 2? Fair enough. Well, Dead Island 2 I know the best, so we can just go and install that real quick. Because I don't want to have to deal with any of this. Look, it's... Oh, God. Downloads. 1 second. Let me get rid of this. Because the things that you don't need are this. And you also do not need that. And it's best to go towards the fastest internet towards you. And for me, that is Boston. Restart now. You think because I'm in Canada that it would be Montreal, but no, Montreal has really bad servers. And I'm not a fan of it. Is it bad at this point in time that Debian 13 is more up to date than its little children? It's bad, right? Let's see how fast it reaches for network speed. Ugh, being on X11 does not feel very smooth at all. 180 hertz does not feel like 180 hertz. 165 does not feel like 165. I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, X11 is the greatest thing in the world. Yeah, no, you're dealing with security problems. You're dealing with holes. You're dealing with techniques that are no longer considered modern. There's a lot of other issues. Alrighty then, let's go play. We're going to make sure that we're on the right Proton. And that's Proton Experimental. We're going to hit play. And we're going to see how this goes. F-Sync up and running. Fossilization info. Yeah, that sounds about right for anything this old. Wow. In case most of you don't know, we're on the 6.18 kernel. That's currently gone into release candidate 1. Most distros are on the 6.17 kernel. Mesa 25.3 is about to go into like release status here pretty soon. X Wayland is probably on 24.2 or 3 at this point. So yeah, and most of the dependencies that I'm seeing for it that it's been installing are ridiculously out of date. Hilariously so, in fact. Okay, we're going to do a screen capture for the game itself. Yeah, you can't make that up. That happened. I really want to make a game work. We're going to try that again. We are going to try that again. Again, because if you're on NVIDIA, this is not going to be ideal for you. Please take advice from someone who actually has experience with this and these type of distros. It's not going to work out well for you. It's just not. And most of the time, it's not going to work out well for AMD users also, because you're missing out on X Wayland 24.1 plus. So, yeah. Ooh. You're purposely asking for some pain. By the way, this is the whole I ripped off Windows 11 thing. Let's put that over there. I know there's a black screen right now. I'm waiting for Dead Island to pop up. It takes a little bit of time to get everything going for the game. Plus the fact that it just crashed. Okay, well. I don't know. Alright. Dead Island would not boot up no matter what we did. So we're just going to hit play. for Guild Wars 2. And I'm going to do my normal benchmark here in the Wizard's Tower. Wow, this is actually making me a little disappointed in Linux right now. The fact that distros like these still exist. But I have old hardware. Great, and Arch Linux still runs better on older hardware than anything that you got, my friend. And it has its own installer. People just keep pretending that's not a thing. And then we got CachyOS, and we got all this other stuff. 1 second, let me make that a little bit bigger so we can get this done better. Okay, let's make sure my settings are actually in game here. They are. Oh god, this does not feel good at all. Okay. Yeah, there's still the performance loss in the game. Wow. So we actually have worse performance than we normally do on CachyOS, PicoOS, Nabora. Because normally we'd be at 120 staring at this. It feels so laggy. Yeah, this runs way worse. Because I'm not getting the full performance out of my CPU. I'm not getting the full performance out of anything. My poor GPU is suffering horrendously. I can't in all good conscience recommend this as a distro that you go into use. Like, I can't recommend Mint, can't recommend Ubuntu because of the snaps. There's a lot of reasons not to use LTS distros, especially if you have hardware that is built for gaming. You're losing out. Anybody that tells you otherwise is completely stuck in their own BS. They're not the type of people you need to listen to. They learn most of their information from Reddit, and that says everything you need to know. Oh my. I could stay here, I could give it more time, but the longer that I use it, the more that I suffer. And really, I don't feel like suffering for people's entertainment. So if you were considering Zorin OS 18, don't. It's just overhyped. It's all over X. It's ridiculous. And it's just Ubuntu with a Z. So it's Zubuntu. And it's just like Mint is Ubuntu with an M. It's Mubuntu. There's no difference at all between how they handle themselves. There's none. And you could go with Ubuntu Studio. It's still just Ubuntu. It still has outdated dependencies, drivers, X Waylands, things like this. Important things. Tree. So just try to remember that if you care about your hardware, if you care about your security, if you care about all of these things, your performance in games, these Debian-based distros are not where you want to be. If you want to go Debian and you want to have all the performance in the entire galaxy, this is what PicoOS is built for. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, subscribe, share the video, comment, all of that stuff. And go give CachyOS a try. Go give PicoOS a try. Go give Nabora a try. Don't be scared. Go run Arch install and, actually learn how to use Linux, troubleshoot, things like this. And if I see one goddamn comment about my grandma I do this for my grandma, look, if you're not willing to love your grandparents enough to be able to teach them everything they need to know, if you're not willing to sit down and spend time with them, talking to them, listening to their old stories while you teach them silly little Linux things, right? I get it, right? Not everyone loves their grandparents enough to teach them how to take care of themselves. I do. I would, in a second. I would do it for my mother. I would do it for the people around me because I actually care about them. I don't deem them stupid. I don't deem them unworthy. I don't put down their intelligence. I know exactly how intelligent the people around me are. I can literally just stare at a person and know that's a smart person. Unfortunately, when I go outside these days and I look around, all I see is, well, not so smart people who are actually open and willing to learn. So that makes me excited. And if someone wants to learn, I'm here for it. If you want to learn things, check the playlist in the description. If it's not there, let me know. I'm not good at server stuff. Okay? I don't plan on becoming good at server stuff, but I know a lot more about a lot of things. Not that that makes much sense, but you get what I mean. If you want to support this channel and all that I do, you can become a member on YouTube. You can donate using Ko-Fi. And if you made it to the end of this video, let's have a special little word, sparkle, because that's what's falling down on my screen right now. God damn it, Zorin. Stop pretending you're something you're not. It's embarrassing. There's a ghost.